Hi, BookTube. Welcome, welcome. Happy
Hello,
Sunday. I have Steve here with me, and we're here to chat category romance and various other things that we feel like discussing.
One or two other things might come up.
Yeah. We were having a great discussion. We thought we'd involve the rest of you.
Yes, that's basically what it amounts to.
Yeah.
I told a friend of mine when I saw your link, the link to the StreamYard, I told a friend of mine that I was doing a live today. I told him last night, and he does YouTube. And he said, "So you're going to be back and forthing with her all night long about a show map?" I wanted to guard his feelings, but I also wanted to say, no, we're not going to need a show map. Thanks.
No. We are the show.
Yeah, I think he honestly wanted to know, well, what happens if there's dead air?
Oh, impossible. Impossible.
So
we're going to talk about
what we're doing? For the people, I mean, a lot of people will be tuning in that didn't catch the last one. We don't do these as often as we should.
It's been a while, but we're going to be annoying you all summer long. That's my plan anyway. We are going to talk new releases from Harlequin. So I think we're going to go with the ones published now in July. We'll do July's, and then next month we can do August's.
And just this is a weird thing that we do. You and I have emailed about this. This is a weird thing that we do. It's a weird combination of talking with your friends and presenting something to strangers. And you just have to get, if you're going to do BookTube, you just have to get used to that. That's
right.
If you make it all one and not the other, you'll lose interest in making videos either way.
Yes.
It has to be a combination of those two, and your viewers will understand that. But in light of that fact, would you mind going over what category romances are?
Of course.
Since you're a queen of category.
I do have some here for visuals, just because I may or may not have done an unboxing video that's coming out on Wednesday. I ordered some of the July new releases, so we will be talking about a few of these. Category romances are published by Harlequin in North America, Mills and Boon in the UK, and overseas, like Australia and stuff. And they are in categories, hence the term category romance. So if you go to your bookstore, you will see Intrigue. And then there's the Intrigue right up there. So you know this is a specific type of book. This is a romantic suspense book. There's also the romantic suspense line for extra fun. And on the back, they do state what line they are and kind of a little blurb: seek thrills, solve crimes, blah, blah, blah. And they are numbered as well. If I can show that there. I always say the numbers are basically for collectors. It's almost like comic book issues in a way. You might have continuing stories throughout the comic book, but you're going to get certain issues. That's the way that I always look at that. And yes, it is Harlequin's 75th anniversary this year. Started in 1949. So there's a small little nod to it. But yeah, basically, depending on what line you pick up, whether it's the Intrigue line or the romance line, you're going to get a specific type of book. And, or the historical line. Yeah. Steve and I may have this, but her name is spelled wrong.
Well, there's also a bit of a discrepancy between him and me, so I guess that's understandable.
I do like, well, but hold on. Is that Frida in the back, the donkey?
Oh goodness.
I couldn't help myself. Did you see the inside picture, though?
I did, yes. Very nice.
I miss a good step back when Harlequin did these.
I do, too. The historicals used to be a real treat in that regard.
Yes. They really build them as, like, not looking category-esque, but I love those inside step backs. Just gorgeous. You don't see that anymore. They're cheaping out on us. So we're going to kind of go through each of the lines and kind of look at the books real quick and comment on the covers, which is what we do best. We have one that I'm very much looking forward to talking about.
Well, I comment on the covers. You're the expert. And you talk to half these people. And
this is my summer of category.
We should also talk about broader issues, couple of broader issues. Both of us are dealing with this new design of Harlequin category romances. I don't think either one of us is at all happy with the fact that you practically have to interrogate Harlequin romances with a rubber baton and some truth serum to get out of them the fact that it's their 75th anniversary. Should be plastered all over the books. Shouldn't have to look fine for it. It should be everywhere.
75 is huge. I thought, and I remember when it was the 60th, I thought, what are they going to do for like 75? It's going to be, but it's like almost like a drop in the pan.
The downplaying of the 75th anniversary and the redesign of the books both give me the impression that Harlequin is trying to run away from its core audience.
Yep.
If you broadcast 75th anniversary in a stupid boardroom, what does that say to stupid people in a stupid boardroom? Oh, yeah. Old. This is for old people. We're not for old people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that Harlequin has any stupid people in their boardroom, but that's the kind of thinking you would need to do in order to downplay this.
That's right.
Or in order, as these new cover designs are, to hide the fact that you're a Harlequin romance.
Yeah, it used to be pretty blatant. I wish I had.
Now they've got one letter on the cover.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Like up in the corner, romantic suspense. It used to be like it would be the entire side of it, or the top, like when Blaze had like red across the top with Blaze, so you knew what it was, and then that very Blaze cover that they had. But I mean, like, they used to be great, but now you just don't get it anymore, and it's unfortunate. It really, really is.
Yes, the distinctive Blaze covers. Yes, where the two models show up for the photo shoot, and the male model says, "I don't understand. Where's my clothes?" The photographer says, "Oh, don't worry about it, Chip. You'll be fine the way you are.
It's fine.
Just get in the hot tub."
Just smile and nod. But yeah, no, they're I talk about this in my unboxing video. I have actually come to love the size. I do kind of really like the new sizing. I'm really liking these kind of floppy mass market paperbacks. I just find them a bit easier to read. You don't have to crack and break the spine. But as a collector, they don't match the rest of the books.
Yeah, the spines on the old Harlequins were bad.
Yeah.
They were really, really
maybe
stiff.
a read or two is all you'd get out of them.
Yeah.
If you bought a book secondhand.
To cut corners on the price. Harlequins were always less expensive than other romances.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, no.
Not $8.99 Canadian.
Oh, that's for 100
highway robbery.
That's the same price you'd pay for it. Oh, okay, not good. Ooh.
But that's why, as I mentioned in my video, I bought all the ones that I bought on the sale on Harlequin at the end of the month, and it was like spend $50, get $20 off. And then on top of that, I got an extra 30% off because you can combine coupons. So I paid $40 for all 10 books, shipping included. So that was a deal. That I will do, but I will not go to Walmart and spend that. I won't. Simple as that.
Walmart and places like that is where you're likely to find these things, right?
Correct. And I mean, Walmart, at least my Walmart by me, is offering them at 25% off, which is fine, but that's still a lot of money. Yeah,
when you think about what I imagine is a sizable portion of Harlequin readership that's on a fixed income. Because there is no running away from your base, and your base is romance readers of a certain generation. But does your Chapters Indigo have Harlequin romances?
Yes, they do. Very small section. Mostly of the Presents novels. They seem to be the biggest seller. But they've always been the biggest seller. Right? Like those are the ones that are synonymous with Harlequin, in my opinion. Are those iconic? Do I have it here? An iconic, the circle cover. I got excited. Okay, so here's this, Steve. Look at the back. You get a gorgeous, I love that.
Yeah, that is kind of nice.
Isn't that pretty? But it's only on the Presents novels. I wish they kind of do it for all of them. But again, money, they're only charging $9 a book. It's $6 if you buy the ebook. $6 for an ebook. I can't. I just can't.
Where are the huge presentations? Where are the sweepstakes and giveaways? 75
You
years?
remember all of that? Yes.
That's a huge deal. 75 years? That's...
And there's nothing. It's just it.
Well, at least we can look at what's coming up this month, right? What's
That's
coming
right.
up in July.
Yes, which I'm very excited about. So let me see here. I'm going to try and share my screen, say how it goes. If it starts to lag, I'll pull out my tablet. It's just easier with the screen here. So let me do this.
Oh, right. The last time we shared the screen, there was a lag in the audio, and I got
Correct.
a bunch of emails from people saying, please fix the audio. We're here to listen to you, not to watch, not to look at the pictures. You don't need to show any pictures. We'll still listen to you.
Yeah. But we're going to see, because I'm using a brand new laptop. So let's see if this works. Yeah. So Harlequin, see 30% off when you buy 4 or more books. I'm not even going to look at the Afterglow books because they make me angry, because they're not category.
But look at that. There is the whole list of the regular categories, including a couple of new ones, right?
They are new and they are not. The Fortunes of Texas and the Montana Mavericks used to be published under the special edition line, but now they've broken them out and put them in their own lines, if you will. Only one new book comes out a month in those.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can look at those as well. So we'll go there first. The Fortunes of Texas has been around for a gazillion years, which I'm sure anybody knows who's looked at them. And this month's for July is Fortune's Convenient Cinderella by McKenna Lee. McKenna Lee, I have actually interviewed. She is absolutely delightful. Her son has Down syndrome, her adult son. And her first book that she wrote for Harlequin features a character. The little girl has Down syndrome. And it was delightful. I highly recommend it. It's a Christmas story. So it was really cute. But yeah, that's this one for the Fortunes of Texas. The Fortunes of Texas Digging for Secrets series, book number 6.
Now, in a situation like this, would she write this book for the Fortunes of Texas? Or would she write a book and then Harlequin would decide where it goes?
No. With the Fortunes of Texas and with the Montana Mavericks series, they are contracted. So there's like a Bible of these are the stories that we're going to put into this 6 or 12 book series. And let's pick our authors. And then the authors are asked, would you write this story? And they're handed the character names. They're handed kind of the basic plot. And here's the rest of all the other plots. And then they just kind of run with it and put their story in there.
Can you imagine if there's a series Bible for the Coltons? It would be longer than the real Bible. Had a million adventures.
There is. Well, that's the thing, is that when you do the mini-series, like if you're asked to do one of the mini-series books, it's the same thing. You got to know the backstory. It's unbelievable. And I know the authors. I've talked to authors who have done these mini-series.
Uh-oh. Audio problems cropping up here.
Let me kick out. Stop sharing. There we go. Better? Okay. Let's do that. I don't want audio problems. But
we're
basically,
tough enough to listen to as it is.
Right?
Audio
problems. But basically, like they will contact each other and be like, hey, would your character do this? Because if their character shows up in that person's story, it's like, oh, would she wear this color lipstick? Would she, like, to that extent of it? And I just think to me, it's kind of fun to have that little community as a group of writers. Would be a lot of fun, right?
And for this book here, it's number 6 in a series. Is this the type of thing where you would need to read the others?
You should, but you're talking to me, Steve, so the answer is no.
Sarah doesn't do books in series. She drives the more anal retentive of her viewers crazy because she does.
I'm the one who'll be like, yeah, you can read Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings completely out of order. It's fine. No harm, no foul. Let's bring up the tablet now, because we do not want audio issues. So yeah, so that's the Fortunes of Texas. Let's go to the Heartwarming line, which is the line that I really, really like. These are the biggest books, like in terms of page count or word count, excuse me. Like they have they're one of the lines that actually give you secondary and third characters. So you do meet the townsfolk. You meet Great Aunt Millie. You meet, all the people. And they're just sweet stories, but they are with no adult content. So if you want a story that is a sweet romance, if you will, but is not religious, these are the ones that you want, because they also, of course, do a religious line, right? So they have 4 books come out in this every month. I do have one of them beside me, and I can actually show those as I go through. So you guys who are here are getting a sneak peek of my book haul. So enjoy. So we have A Home for the Marine. Very nice. King. And this one, even though I'm not American, A Small Town 4th of July by Janice Carter. This one looked really cute. Part of a small series. And let me see here.
I love the 4th of July, but my heart goes out to people here in the United States who have nervous dogs.
Or cats.
Yeah, the fireworks drive. As soon as I mentioned nervous dogs, my very unnervous dog decided to look at the camera. Nothing. Like, huh? She's not afraid of anything, so the fireworks don't bother her at all. I always sympathize.
Yep, no, for sure. That's that one. And here's another dog cover for you, Steve. An Amish Country Reunion by Patricia Johns. This one takes place in Amish country, but the characters are not Amish. Very cute. And A Heart of a Rancher by Trish Milburn. There are the 4 for this month. So yeah, all of them are part of series, small town series, and yeah, I like them. They're fun.
How often do Harlequin category romances do what that last one did and show us a cover with no woman? Is that common?
It's quite often, actually. Oftentimes you do get a single character on the cover, whether it just be a male or a female. Just trying to see now. I think we're going to run across a couple, and maybe some with some other wildlife. But yeah, but no, you are right. Like it's not something that you see as often, but you tend to see it more. Well, there was 2 of them in the Heartwarming. There was the one with just the Marine on it, and then just the cowboy. So there were 2 without a female on it. So let's see here what we got. So now on to Steve's favorite, the historicals. A lot of Regency, I feel. A Cinderella to Redeem the Earl by Anne Lethbridge. Sorry for the glare, everybody. Doing the best we can. We do not want audio lags. And A Deal with the Rebellious Marquess by Bronwyn Scott. She's been writing for a gazillion years.
I've read a lot of her books, yeah. And of course, with Harlequin historicals, you have to just overlook historical details on the cover. A man in that period would not have the 5 o'clock shadow.
No, goodness, no. And I don't want to knock, because it will come out in August. There is a female romance in the Harlequin, in the historical line, which in principle I have no problem with, but in practicality it doesn't make sense, because it would have there's no happily ever after. Right. That's my issue.
Right. Instead, it's the same thing as with the TV show of Bridgerton. It's just there are a whole bunch of people out there who want a little bit of more representation, but they also like the setting, this wonderful historical setting. And in reality, they won't get both. So you've got to get a little fantasy.
That's right.
You've got to add a little bit. It's understandable. It's just a little weird. That's all.
It is. For a history, I mean, all the other lines make absolute sense to have, the LGBTQ representation. But I don't know what it is about the historical. Just, it's not the happily ever after that you want from a couple, right? Like, they could live together in a cottage as spinsters. Right, which was probably exactly what happened.
Well, in the historical novels that are like this, that are indulging in this kind of wish fulfillment, like Bridgerton. Most people don't read, but they do watch TV. They watch streaming service, so they've seen Bridgerton. Yeah. They know Bridgerton is presenting you with an alternate reality.
Yes,
and it's a wonderful alternate reality. But in most romance novels, you get to the end, and right before the happy ending, your thought is, boy, I hope this ends happily. And at the end of these kind of historical novels, your thought at the end is, boy, I wish history had been different. And
Yes.
that's not a pleasant thought at all.
No, it's not.
There's an element of unhappiness there.
But that's the same thing that we talk about in terms of like, you know, the Viking romances in here and stuff like that. Like we've talked about this before, just like, ew, like it's not really romantic.
Sorry for the rather intense little picture of Dorian Gray there over my shoulder. I don't know why she parked herself there, but maybe she hears another voice. She hears someone else. There you go.
She needs to make sure you're okay. A Marriage to Shock Society by Joanna Johnson. I do love that we're starting to really see more authors lately, new authors, first published books and stuff like that. I think that's going to be great because I have not heard of that author before.
Harlequin is open to such things, right?
Yes, there is always open calls for if you are listening to this and you are a writer and you want to try, go to the Write for Harlequin website and they give you a breakdown of whatever you need to know. Lady Beaumont's Daring Proposition by Eva Shepherd.
I love the sound of this one.
Yes.
I thought this was my favorite. This one jumped out at me. But who is Eva Shepherd? I could swear I know that name.
She's written before.
Has she wrote other books in this series?
Yeah, because this is her fourth book in the series. It's the Rebellious Young Ladies series. I believe it's I want to say it's Victorian as opposed to Regency. I think. Which is nice that we're seeing more of that. I actually am interested in reading this one. Stranded with Her Forbidden Night by Melissa Oliver, which is medieval, but she's like on her way to get married to her betrothed and then he like kidnaps her. So, because that's the done thing at the time.
I did it twice to Deb.
I was going to say. And The Kiss That Made Her Countess by Laura Martin. We got that one. Another Regency. Book 3 in the Season of Celebration series. Not too sure what that is. So, let's see here. What have we got next? The Intrigue. Now, these are my favorites. Let's see. Ebooks. I do. Okay, so at first, remember, Steve, the last time we talked, we were not completely impressed, especially with the Intrigue covers, because we felt that they were really badly photoshopped.
Yeah, people's feet in the wrong places.
Yeah, they upped the game, and I really think the new ones look good. I am really impressed with how the covers are.
And for the difference between Intrigue and romantic suspense would be what?
Intrigue deals more with the mystery, whereas the romantic suspense deals more with the romance. And it's also a little spicier.
Both will have that element of
100%. They are both romantic suspense novels, but the Intrigue is way more, this is the case, this is what we're solving, this is what we're dealing with. Whereas the romantic suspense is like, oh my God, we're being chased by a murderer. Oh, we've got 5 minutes and here's an empty cabin. You know, you laugh, but anyone who's read romantic suspense knows.
Every time you come across one of those books that steps across the line on your channel, you always say something like priorities, people.
Priorities. Nicole, and there are some names on here that have been writing for these books forever. Nicole Helms, Cold Case Scandal. Like, that is a gorgeous cover. Absolutely gorgeous.
And I guess
there's your answer. There's a single cowboy on a horse. That's the entire cover.
And you do get more of the real estate of a pretty cover with less of the branding.
It's true. So, I mean, there is like the balance, but... And a cover for Steve, Escape the Everglades by Carrie Dad Panino. The second book in the South Beach Security series.
Although those of you hiking in the Everglades, don't take advice from that cover. You're hiking in the Everglades and you see any body of water, and I mean a body of water that's only 4 feet long. Any body of water, it has an alligator in it, and the alligator is watching you and waiting for something to get close. And trust me, you cannot pry their mouth open once it slams closed. So don't let the dog off the leash and don't go anywhere near the edge of a body of water.
Yeah.
Well, there are people over there on a pontoon having the time of their life, so there can't be any alligators in it. If you see water in Florida, there's an alligator in it.
Yeah. On the golf course, your water hazard, alligator. Guardian Defender by Jacqueline Thomas, which is, it's not part of a series, it's a standalone, it looks like. Again, single dude on the cover.
Are standalones more common in Intrigue than they are elsewhere?
I find they are, yeah. And the thing that's becoming very, very popular, and I think a lot of readers will attest to this, is seeing the back of the person. Like, you're just seeing the back of them, right? It's a thing.
Do Intrigue and romantic suspense have fewer recurring characters than the?
Not necessarily. That Nicole Helm book, it is the 4th book in a series of a group of siblings, actually. Where's that? Do I have that? Okay. The next one I got to show you because the cover, it's right here, is probably my favorite cover this month. Mountain Abduction by Danica Winters. Is it like, take away the wording? Yeah. That's a painting. It's gorgeous. Like, I love it. Like, I mean, kudos. Well done.
I mean, the title has, the 2 words of the title have the epic beauty and also an element of danger. And when you take away the words, you still have epic beauty and an element of danger. Somebody really did that well.
Yeah, and the colors and everything, it's just gorgeous. It was my favorite cover in the line for this month anyway. Now, this is what Harlequin is doing for the 75th, is that there are 6 books being released, and I have to actually buy them. I think I have to get the first 3. One every other month for different lines, that they have some of their old tried and true authors come back to write a new book for the category line. So they got Sharon Sala in July to write an Intrigue. Goodness. And I need to buy this book. It's called
She's been at it forever, right? Yep. She's been doing this forever.
Yep. Yeah. Heather Graham is writing one in a few months. And I am stoked. But they're coming out, if you get them physically, they're coming out in bind-ups of a 2-in-1. So you get, I think, like this book and then maybe their first book.
Okay, but Sharon Sala and Heather Graham returning for the 75th anniversary, and you have to read that in the fine print? Why isn't that being skywritten over Toronto?
Right. Rayanne Thane. I think it's Brenda Jackson. Right? After we're done, I'm going to look it up because it is on the website, but I had to dig for it to find it, which is annoying. And last but not least, I've actually read this one already because Katie Richards sent me a copy of this one and her book coming out in August, and it is phenomenal. And we have Silenced Witness by Katie Richards. It was an unbelievably good story. She's trying to investigate her brother's murder and, you know, cyber crimes, and it was so good. It was the 9th book in the West Investigation series. Read it out of order. It's fine. No one's going to die. You can read it out of order.
I would ordinarily say that Harlequin could fix all of these things by simply hiring either you or either me. But we both now spend all our days on the couch.
Right.
Telling our silly houseboys to go peel us a grape. Finally, there's someone else on BookTube. Finally, you're another person on BookTube who, if Harlequin offered you a job, like me, your first question would be, do I have to wear pants?
Yeah.
Forever and ever, I've been the only person on BookTube who thought that way about working for a living.
Okay, so there's going to be 8. Celebrate with us and pick up the 75th anniversary collection books. New York Times bestselling authors are paired with fresh new voices. So you're getting a bind up of an older author and then a newer author. So just to show you guys, in case you're curious, we had Brenda Jackson.
Incredible.
Right? Oh, it gets better. Lindsay McKenna. Some great military romantic suspense. Fantastic.
I've read these.
The amazing Diana Palmer. How could you not have Diana Palmer?
Oh.
There's the Sharon Sala that we talked about. My Heather Graham. And last but not least, Rayanne Thane. Is that it? No, I'm sorry. There were 2 others. Steve, you're going to love this one. BJ Daniels.
Oh. These are all stars.
Brenda Novak.
Novak. I have so many of the.
I know, and I'm like, oh, I have to buy them. I have to get my hands on all of them. It's just a thing. I need them for my collection, just because. All right, let me look at some of the comments real quick because I know a lot of you all have been commenting. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, Esther and Pamela. Hi, Lindsay. She's in Portland, which is why Steve said, let's do this at 7 a.m. I said, let's maybe wait till noon so we can get some West Coast people. Hello, everybody. Alicia, Laura, Barb. Hello, friends. I must tell you, this Golden Books has the book Golden Girls, How We Met. Oh, the little golden books? Delightful. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm just kind of flipping through these pretty quick. Pamela, I tried the new larger format books, and I kind of like them. Yeah, I kind of like them, too. I hate to admit that. They're saving all the plans for the 100. Well, I damn well still better be around for that. That's all I have to say. Looking forward to the suspense in the modern. Yeah, Susan's in the UK, so they call them slightly different. I think modern is the presents line for us. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have my very first Harlequin romance I ever read back in the 70s. Took me forever to find a copy. Oh, that's delightful. Yes, love the vintage covers. A couple of Harlequin Regencies. Well, thrifting this week. That's the one thing, is you are going to find these books if you are at your thrift store. Guaranteed you're going to find them. And for a really reasonable price. 4 larger format for $1 each secondhand. I won't pay full price for them. Yeah, saying a lot of people are saying they will wait till these come out secondhand. And pick
4 of them would be $40. That's crazy.
It used to be what you, like I've said it 1,000 times, it's what you throw in your cart with your eggs and your milk. Not anymore. Now that's a down payment to a house. Diana Palmer is awesome. Yes. UK, you get 2 books in one. Yes, you do, Susan. That's right. Which I wish they would do here. Hi, Cheryl. Makes me feel old thinking of the books I bought now in the 70s are now vintage book covers. I think I'd like the Intrigue books. Yeah, I think you would like the Intrigue books, Cheryl. They are getting a little spicier. They never used to be, but they're going there. But it's still much tamer than what you would see in the romantic suspense line. Good afternoon, and everyone in the chat. Oh, yeah, Pat, don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you, Pat. The Intrigue covers are starting to look more like the love-inspired suspense lines. Yes. Yeah. What if I said, love your haircut? Oh, thank you so much.
What am I, chopped liver?
Yours looks delightful too, Steve.
Why,
yeah, I just had it done.
A lightweight bob for the summer.
You are a natural bleach blonde, aren't you? I started with book 4 of the Katie Richards series and had no problem. She's absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Paris, for confirming. And good. Excellent. Oh, here we go. My local library has quite a lot of Harlequins, so next time I go, I'm going to get a couple. Excellent. My only problem with the 2-in-1s is that I want both covers. Yes, absolutely. Book purchaser problems. I always feel bad whose author didn't get the cover in the 2-in-1s. Yes.
It shouldn't be that way.
No.
You put the barcode inside the front cover and put one cover on the front and one cover on the back.
Absolutely. I remember those books when I was a kid, and you'd flip it over and the other side would be, but it would be upside down.
Yeah.
I love that.
This kind of thing. Where you have one book and then
yes,
another.
Exactly. Yes. Take heed, Harlequin, take heed. All right. Medical romance, which I have talked about, are not necessarily my favorite.
Mine neither, but you especially. Yeah. You've got all of this little corner booktube walking on eggshells.
Hospitals are not sexy. This isn't Grey's Anatomy.
No, hospitals are not sexy. Sarah and I can both attest to that. The only thing you want when you're in the hospital is to go home.
That's right. That is right.
Not a question of, he saved me and then he revived me or whatnot.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing like
the vapors.
Yeah.
ER Doc's Miracle Triplets by Tina Beckett. These basically, in my opinion, are really kind of like presents like the very foundation of romance novels with, the secret baby or the accidental pregnancy or the I married a prince, but in a medical setting. But if you go back,
the Harlequin medical stuff very seldom plays a key role in the plot, does it?
There's one review I saw for a new one that's coming out that somebody said they got bogged down in some of the cardiology jargon. And I'm like, ooh, what is that book? I must read it. But I think some of them do, some of them don't. Like I said, I've interviewed Juliet Hyland, and she writes for the medical. And she actually does make sure she's looking at textbooks to try and get it as correct as possible, because she says there will be people who will correct her, So
your entire life has been bogged down in cardiology details.
I know. I'm like,
good Lord.
Let me write the book. I don't even need a manual. It's like I say when I see the covers, it says so-and-so and the heart doctor, cardiologist. They're called a cardiologist. He worked hard for that title, damn it.
Yes.
And here's a really good medical cover. And I do love that they're delving more into first responders and veterinarians now. So we have Her Forbidden Firefighter by Tracy Douglas. Not recommended going into a fire like that, but just saying.
No.
That's the calendar. That's the calendar pose.
Yes. That reminds me of my many, many years of failed attempts to get a Men of Booktube calendar going.
I'm trying to think of who it would be now.
Well, it's always been Slim Pickens, and it still is Slim Pickens. So it would be the only hunky calendar where it would all be for the personality.
Oh, Steve, next year's Garb August.
I'm being a little bit ironic, but I believe that a totally tongue-in-cheek Men of Booktube calendar would sell. I believe that it would.
Oh, God. I can have nightmares tonight now.
Well, yes, it is absolutely nightmare. But I figure as long as my viewers are objectifying me anyway.
Well, but you're asking for it, Steve. You're putting yourself out there,
Midwife's One Night Baby Surprise by Karen Bain. Another single person cover. Surgeon's Brooding Brazilian Rival. A lot of these take place overseas, like outside of a North American setting. And a lot of the authors themselves are from the UK for the romance or for the medical line. But I mean, really, the medical line's been there since the beginning. Betty Niels, it was her bread and butter, was nurses and doctors, right? So it's kind of always been a thing.
Yeah, I think that a big appeal of romances back in the dawn of time, like Betty Niels, was that part of the woman being swept off her feet was also the woman being swept into the home. And if you're going to be swept into the role of homemaker, you have to be swept from somewhere. And how many jobs were there for women?
No, school teacher or nurse.
Yeah, school teacher or nurse or governess. Look at all the romances where the governess is swept into matrimony.
Absolutely, yes.
I had a very good friend, a feminist crusader in the 1960s, who read a book like that and said, "So you're swapping one job for another, and I'm supposed to cheer?" He doesn't have to work at all. She's swapping one job for another, and I'm supposed to cheer.
Right, exactly. The Vet's Caribbean Fling by Anne McIntosh. And last but not least, Winning Over the Off-Limits Doctor by Annie Clayton. Gorgeous. These covers are really pretty. I have to admit, they're really pretty, but they're not. I'm just double checking. They're not my favorites. Let's put it that way.
No, they can be a little bit safe. I mean, they have that in common with Betty Niels.
No. Oh, the medical romance, off the charts sometimes. Very spicy.
Oh, right. I meant in terms of the plot.
Right, no. Absolutely. Yes. Right. Yes, you are correct. Yeah.
Off limits doctor. That it's never going to be that he's off limits because he's her brother. That's
right.
Never going
to happen. The Montana Mavericks book for this month is A Lullaby for the Maverick by Melissa Sennett.
So this is the other one where there's only one.
Correct.
Is she pregnant?
Very pregnant. And this is the 6th book in the anniversary gift. So I think how it works is that they have one book a month for the entire year. So this mini series will go through the whole of 2024. And then in 2025, they'll have another new Montana Mavericks mini series starting from book 1. Clear as mud.
Didn't look to me like she had boots on walking around pregnant in rattlesnake country.
I love it. Your favorite, Steve, presents. These are some gorgeous, gorgeous covers. Like my friend Brie used to say, it's like grown-up prom. Greek's Temporary I Do by Pippa Roscoe, who I've interviewed, and she is delightful. Read her books, please. She is fabulous.
Boy, the presents really haven't changed, have they, though?
No. And I mean,
look, but the books really haven't changed.
No, they have not. And I mean, the plot points are the same. And we've said this before. Basically, if you read the title, you know what the plot of the book is.
Well, yeah.
Right?
There's these also. Don't these often involve secretaries?
Oh my goodness, yes. And they accidentally spill the coffee on the billionaire boss, and then he whisks them away to Italy. And that's the plot. These are the fantasy romances. And when I say fantasy, that's what I mean. I don't mean fairies and vampires. I mean the fantasy element, right? Her $1 Billion Bump by Danny Collins. And there's 8 of these that come out every month. It's the biggest line in terms of number of books. My One Night Air by Natalie Anderson. They are gorgeous, gorgeous covers.
It's really a good design decision that they made. The ring and the glints of light off the ring.
Yes.
That's a really good design decision. If you're going to
They look expensive. They look, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
I guess there's a part of me that's going to be nostalgic for the old layout, but they're doing about as graceful a job as they could do.
Yeah, that this is the iconic line for Harlequin, right? Even beyond the Harlequin romance line, these are the ones that people think about. 9 Month Notice by Janine Lucas.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Harlequin Presents is what people think of.
Revenge in Paradise by Heidi Rice. I get 1920s vibes from her hair. Delightful.
Sorry. I wasn't paying attention to her. I don't know what this is.
There was a her on the cover? I'm sorry. What?
There was a her on the cover?
Royally Promoted by Kathy Williams. And I think there's 2 more. Nope. Signed, Sealed, Married by Annie West. Now, these are super quick to get through. They're like 200 pages. Spanish Marriage Solution by Jackie Asherton.
They are quick to get through, but I've always been impressed over the decades with Harlequin Presents that they can be really good.
There are some great stories.
There can be some really good. You think that it's just checking boxes, but they can be really good. I remember a lot more Harlequin Presents than I do, for instance, Harlequin Historicals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Made Married to the Billionaire. So there answers your question by Lynn Graham. Lynn Graham's been writing forever for the Presents line. And Penniless and Secretly Pregnant. Well, if it's a secret, who's it a secret for? By Janine Lucas. Not something you can really keep a secret for very long anyway. We're almost done here, kids. What do we got? Here you go. Oh, Steve, your hair looks great too. And Cajun wants the calendar to happen. Do you have a favorite line of Harlequin? For example, the Intrigue's love inspired. My favorites are definitely the Intrigue. What about you, Steve?
I think mine would be historical.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable with them than I am with anything else.
You know what you're getting into.
I know what I'm getting into. I often find that the authors are handling themselves well. So I'm more comfortable with the historicals. I wish that they were a little bit more lavish. I wish that Harlequin would pay for original artwork instead of photos, for instance, just on that one line.
Yep. I think they deserve it.
You go on Fiverr or Etsy, you'll find somebody who do a great job for not much money.
Yes, absolutely. And they're gorgeous. They would be gorgeous, I'm sure. Steve's all about the wildlife warnings. Oh, we're going to get into more wildlife warnings. Strap yourself in, kids.
You don't know from wildlife warnings yet. Yeah.
Paris says, I feel like Harlequin needs to market presents like Kindle Unlimited billionaire books. They're very similar. And I think that they would go big on KU. If they started putting some of the presents lines on KU, I think that would be amazing. Elise Silver has some good cowboy romance books. Yes, absolutely. So now onto the romance line, the longest running line. A Fake Bride's Guide to Forever by Kate Hardy.
This classic look.
Absolutely. Bound by Their Lisbon Legacy by Ella Hayes. Again, a lot of these take place overseas outside of the North American setting.
Very much a travel agency type allure to them.
Right, exactly. I love the cover of this one.
The whitewashed walls and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Very escapist.
Yes, exactly. Slow Dance with the Italian by Scarlett Wilson with a little puppy.
Ooh. The dog is Italian.
Yeah. And The Prince She Kissed in Paris by Scarlett Clark.
Now, way back in ye olden times when it was just Harlequin romance, there had to come a point in the company's history where they realized these are selling well enough so that we could spin them off. We could try something else, another imprint, right? That has to be how that happened.
Yeah.
And then one imprint after another.
It started out with Mills and Boon, and Harlequin bought the rights to the books from Mills and Boon. So way back in the beginning, all the Harlequin books were from British authors. And then it came to a point where they're like, well, what about North American authors? And Janet Daly was the first, I believe, to publish for Harlequin, and it was the Harlequin American Romance line. That's why it was called the American Romance line. But I think Presents actually came before it, but when you're talking about distinct to Harlequin itself, it was the American Romance line back in the early 80s. So it was that long of a time before they got their own stuff over here. They were just republishing over here. That's the history to my understanding. I've done a bit of research. I find it interesting.
It is. Absolutely. It's a publishing phenomenon. And yet the publishing houses in America are all too snobby to write a history about it.
They're a juggernaut, an absolute juggernaut. They're publishing, 60 some odd books a month? Plus everything that's not category. They also publish stuff that is not category romance. So, 4 books in the romantic suspense line. We have A Colton Kidnapping by Justine Davis, another Colton book. We've talked about the Colton books. I am, shameless plug, doing a summer with the Coltons where we're reading 6 books in the series. It's been delightful. We have Hot Shots Dangerous Liaison by Lisa Childs, another firefighter romance. Stalker in the Storm by Carla Cassidy. It's part of the Scarecrow Murder series, which just sounds super creepy. And last but not least,
what they're doing, having that white border, that irregular white border around the
that is going to change. I've seen ahead to the newer covers. They're going to be getting rid of that, and it's going to be more like solid like this. But I've always liked that look, like it's like been scratched away, if you will.
Yeah, it's distinctive. It's very distinctive.
Yeah, absolutely. And Undercover Heist by Rachel Astor. Looks pretty good. My problem is that I want to read everything, and there's just no time.
And
now all I have is time.
But still, that problem, when you get to Harlequin category romances and you think, I want to read all of these, that problem has been made 1,000 times worse by Kindle Unlimited.
Yes.
You're bombarded with romances, and they're all professionally done.
Yes.
I think romances must account for more of Kindle Unlimited than any other kind of book.
Romance accounts for more than any other kind of book, period. Just my opinion.
No, it's fact. Absolute fact. That publishing houses would not be able to pay the Jonathan Franzens the bent as they do if they weren't selling romance novels.
Exactly. Special edition is another one of my favorite lines. They now have 4 of these a month. It used to be 6, but now they've broken out the Fortunes of Texas and the Montana Mavericks. So we have lots of dog books for you this month, Steve. Dog Days of Summer by Terry Wilson.
Ooh.
Have you read Terry Wilson? Please tell me you've read Terry Wilson.
I don't think
she has dogs in every single book. Yeah, she's a mom to a oh my gosh, what's the dog from Lady and the Tramp? Cocker Spaniel? No. King Charles Cavalier. Yeah. Yeah. So read her books. You would really be delighted by them, Steve. And
But
then
this
we
time I'm paying heavily for the privilege of many dogs on covers.
by one cover in particular.
Right.
One Sweet Deal by Michelle Dunaway. She's been writing for a long time for Harlequin. The name rings a bell going way back. Here's the Diana Palmer book, Rancher's Law.
Incredible. Just incredible. So that's
Absolutely.
not a reprint. That's not a reprint. That's a new book.
No, that's a brand new release. Like that is, she just rewrote this, right? And Rules of Engagement by Nancy Robards Thompson. So there's the 4 for that. And now we're going to get into the last 2 sets of books are the Love Inspired books, which are the faith-based fiction.
But you've mentioned before that they're faith-based, but they're not preachy.
Some can be, but most are not. There are occasionally authors that you will see that will go a little bit more preachy, but overall, they tend to keep it more open-ended, and it's also not specific to a certain religion. It is because it's Christianity, but not to a certain sect, if that makes sense. It's not like it's Catholic or it's Protestant or what have you. It's just kind of all-encompassing God. Because I think very rarely is Jesus ever actually mentioned. It's more God that's mentioned.
And then once again, okay, so it can be a little preachy. Some authors do, but is it ever miraculous? Are there ever?
No.
No. It's not like a child gets hit by a car and is a miracle
Saved.
happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not to anything that I have ever read. I don't think that they go down that road. Although there are times within these books where there was one that I was reading that really annoyed me and I had to DNF it because she was just like, I'm being chased by a gunman and I'm going to sit here and pray. No, get up and run. Don't be stupid. You can do both. And of course, these do contain some of Steve's very favorite books. Healed by the Amish Nanny by Virginia Wise. There are Amish books within these lines, yes. Which, depending on, they're cute. Whatever. The Beekeeper Next Door by Danielle Thorne. Sounds really cute. The Cowboy's Marriage Bargain by Deborah Clack. Very sweet books, The Triplet Summer Adventure by Laura Blout. If you're a religious person, if you're not a religious person, I still think that these are just really nice books. They're just nice books. Their surprise Amish Reunion by Jocelyn McKay.
Do they ever deal with crises of faith? Do characters ever lose their faith?
That's the big drawing point for most of these books, is that one of the characters is very devout and the other character is questioning their faith. That's really part of the conflict between the two of them. Like, can I be with this person if they're having this conflict of faith? Like
and the resolution is both
that the person always converts at the end. Yeah, always. And I'm not mocking that, so please don't think I'm mocking that. I'm just saying, And then this, I think it's a dog. Training the Canine Companion by Jill Kellner. That looks like a ball of fluff. This is part of the Canine Companion series. These are really, really cute books. They all feature service dogs for various things, whether it be like medical or what have you. So they're really a cute series. And I think that's it for the month of June. And last but certainly not least, the love-inspired suspense line, where we get some of the most delightful covers. I'm giggling because I know what's about to come. These covers are very cool, though. I do like them because I love the simplicity to them, where you're just getting one thing. Like one blanket in the snow.
You showed one months ago on your channel about it that was a very similar thing. It was, I think, a child's backpack.
Yes.
That was really evocative.
It is. They're very cool. Colorado Mountain Kidnapping by Kate Nolan. But yeah, I mean, that's all you get. Like, what is this about? There's a blanket. There's, One of the canine books, we're now in the Mountain Country Canine Unit series, Crime Scene Secrets by Maggie K. Black.
Ooh.
With another poopy.
Ooh.
We have Danger on the Peaks by Rebecca Hopewell. That's a great cover too. And we have, whoops. This one's quite good too. Suspicious Homicide by Elizabeth Goddard. With the car.
Look
that
at
just
that.
Kinda, right?
Yeah, the cover starts right in telling the story.
Exactly. Oh, yay, it is the last one. We get to end on a banger. Texas Ranch Cold Case by Virginia Vaughn. And last but certainly not least, Wilderness Witness Survival by Connie Queen.
What is it with the people who make these covers? What do they have against me? Why do they hate me so?
That's a pretty good bear, though.
Yeah, but the picture on the cover belies the title. The witness is not going to survive.
Is the bear the witness?
You better hope so, because that creature is a grizzly bear. You can tell by the hump and by the shape of the face. It weighs a solid ton, and its claws are 7 inches long.
Yep.
That's longer than your finger, and razor sharp. And they're always in a bad mood. When they come towards you, you can feel it through the ground. That's how big they are.
Oh my God.
The only reason that Sarah is chuckling, for those of you who are in the chat, is that I have encountered these things in the wild, and the memory never goes away. I know that this is love inspired. Believe you me, when you encounter one of these things in the wild, that's the loudest you're ever going to say, Jesus Christ.
You praying is regardless of your religious beliefs. Praying.
Pray.
What is the famous Simpson line? If you're up there, save me, Superman.
Is there actually a bear in that novel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're stuck in the wilderness. So my assumption would be is that there's going to be a bear. It's about a missing 9-year-old girl. I hope she doesn't encounter the bear and think it's Winnie the Pooh, because it's not. Cheryl says, oh, yeah. Yes, everybody's like, I missed the Desire line.
Everybody misses the Desire line. It's weird they don't just bring it back. Why don't you just admit error and bring it back?
Exactly. Hold on, let me see here. I missed some comments. Steve, I've been collecting signets recently, and their covers are gorgeous. I miss the painted covers.
Yeah, a lot of those old signets are wonderful.
Oh, they're gorgeous. What's the name of your favorite author, Steve? Rhonda wants to know. Do you have a favorite?
Ovidius Naso. The Roman poet Ovid.
There you go. I have to clean my house. Inspection happens in a couple hours. Excellent. Have fun. Paris says, the Reformed Rakes podcast has some excellent episodes about Janet Daly's history, and they go a lot into the history of category romance. Thank you, Paris. That will give me something to listen to, the Reformed Rakes podcast. We'll definitely check that out. Monet says, when will Harlequin write books with a woman interested in 2 men at the same time? They will not. I just don't feel that there is an audience for that, but it's not the audience that generally reads category romance. That's just my opinion. I think they're like with the male or female romances. I think that they are already, I mean, they're not pushing the envelope because they need it to be done, but I still think that there are some old biddies who are very much turning their nose up at that, who read these books.
I think the only way that they would ever do a novel of a woman interested in 2 men is if one man wins out in the end. I mean, I've read,
and there would never be any love scenes. There would never be no, not in a million years. I don't see it. Even when the Dare line was out, they didn't push that envelope. Pat says, I wish Harlequin would bring back Desire and Nocturne. I read them every month. Nocturne was very popular as well. I could see Karina eventually doing a polyamorous romance book, but I doubt it will hit the main lines. Exactly, Paris, you are correct. Karina Press is an offshot for Harlequin, and they do a lot of, I think they did some of the first LGBTQ for Harlequin books. Missed the Desire line. Yes, we need to, Desire had the best covers. They did have the best covers. Oh my gosh. Christianity has different denominations. Yep. Ah, beekeeper, that's adorable. Yeah, the back of that book is that she's a beekeeper and she just moves in next door and he's afraid of bees. My kind of books. Harlequin should bring back Desireline. The dog was so fluffy. Desireline, my daughter likes the heartwarming line. Yes. I love this. The bear returns. It's the same bear. He's back.
Yes. Sooner or later, he'll get a book of his own.
And here's the best comment. The comment of the episode. If it was set in the UK, it'd be a badger. You'd be fine. Oh my gosh. Well, this was delightful, Steve. Any questions? Any follow-up? Anything at all? Anybody in the comments have any questions? Steve's going to run right out down by the bear book.
When I was walking around in the wilds of England, my dogs and I encountered badgers. They're pretty quick. They can move pretty fast, especially when they're angry. They can move pretty fast, but so can grizzly bears.
Yes.
Grizzly bear can outrun a horse. So.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
They're incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. And anything that you think that will save you will not save you. People think, well, look at how pudgy this thing is. I'll just outrun it. You can't outrun a grizzly bear. People think, look how pudgy it is. I'll just climb a tree. Grizzly bears can climb trees a lot. Very fast. They can shimmy up trees. They can also, most of them, just bend the tree down to them if they don't want to climb it. They're unbelievably strong. Stronger than a horse.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to obsess or anything.
Cheryl says, this was fun. Thank you, Sarah and Steve. I have a bunch I want to try now. I don't mind a bit of spice, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, really, yes, there is spice in these books, but I've said it to about other romances as well. You can skip it. You know, if you get to that scene, you can just flip the pages. You know, it's not a big deal. Like, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We will do this again.
Fun. Yes, we'll have to do this for August books.
Yes. Or you can have me on your channel at any time, eh?
I don't know why Frida has been just speedily staring at the camera the whole time. I don't know why I'm assuming it's because she hears a different voice. Otherwise,
daggers. Yeah. She's like, usually he's just talking to himself.
We're cooped up in here, though. It's mighty hot and incredibly humid outside. So we went for a walk and it was misery.
Yesterday was really humid up here.
Yeah, I can't really complain because Hurricane Beryl is bearing down right now on my old home.
Oh.
It's going to hit the Leeward Islands square on, and it's gigantic. It's become a monster storm overnight.
Oh, no.
No idea what it will do. Usually when storms thread their way through the Leeward Islands, they then lose strength. So probably Hurricane Beryl will hit the Gulf of Mexico as just a tropical storm.
Mm-hmm.
The weird thing is that if you pull out and look at the weather maps, there are a whole bunch of cells right behind Beryl just lined up.
Oh, yeah. Like, tis the season.
Tis the season, but it's mighty early to have a storm as big and as powerful as Beryl.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's not normally till what, August?
Yeah, August and September. Yeah, but here it is. And we're not even done with June, and Beryl is big, wow. Strong storm.
Well, best wishes to anybody in the path.
Yeah, best wishes to people down on the islands. Best wishes to people in St. Lucia. Mm-hmm. The storm, I think, is going to be passing to your south, but it's still a big thing. If even a bit of it hits the island, you're going to lose a lot of power.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That'll be... Yeah, no. All right, my friend. Frida. I see there's one eyeball.
Yes, just one beady little eyeball.
Godzilla.
She exhausted herself on our walk, yelling at people.
Of course. Well, she yelled at me when we met.
Yeah. And she doesn't yell at people because she's mad at them. She yells at people to say, come over and pet me immediately.
That's right. That's right.
Fuss over me until I'm done with you. And if you stop fussing before she wants you to, she'll just sit back on her haunches, raise her head, and yodel at you. Get you to keep doing it. Fortunately, she's incredibly cute, so people don't mind. But she will do that to everybody. But I'm going to get to making videos.
Yeah, I've already filmed 2. There's one that should be going up in a couple hours on my channel.
I think I'll take it easy today and just make 4. It's a Sunday after all.
It is the Lord's Day, Steve. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Any questions or comments, post them below, and I will get to them. We will get to them in the next video. I'll keep them to the side. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.